I'm Shivani. Stay tuned to the Voice It Out podcast.
Hello, this is Amrita. So I'm here again with the Voice It Out podcast. And in this episode, unfortunately, Shyama has not been able to join us. So we're sending get well wishes to Shyama. However, I do have a guest. And this person is not someone I know. Sorry, not someone I've known that long, but I feel like she can add a really, really, really valuable kind of contribution to the conversation. So I'm just going to say that she is a female photographer, and if you don't know her, you need to know her, basically. It's Shivani Patel. Hello.
Hi, guys.
How are you doing?
I'm good, thanks. You're hyping me up so much.
I haven't even started yet. So basically, this woman is like one of those photographers who has this natural talent, right? But I don't think it's only your natural talent because you have a qualification, right?
Yes, I do.
So go for it. What is your qualification?
I have a degree in digital photography from
Amazing.
Ravensbourne University.
Amazing. Yeah. So I just want to ask you to start off with, when did you know that you wanted to take this on as an actual career?
Honestly, I never knew.
Okay.
Yeah, I never knew. I was doing art for GCSE and photography for GCSE. And it just came to the point where we had to choose our universities and pick whatever we wanted to do. And I had no idea what to do. I was like, something to do with art. I'm really creative. And my parents really pushed me to do exactly what I wanted to do. Like, they didn't care that it was something creative. It's not like anything like accounting or anything like that.
Typical Asian subjects.
Exactly, yeah. Didn't become a doctor.
Or an accountant.
Can't save anyone's life. Yeah. Can't do numbers, that's for sure.
Oh, God, tell me about it.
So yeah, and then I was just like, why not photography? Let me see where that takes me. It might open up some ventures, it might not. Let's just see how far it goes, really.
So did you have or did you want to get any experience in photography before you chose that as like a degree?
Not really, because I was doing it as an A-level. So
okay.
I was just like, let's just see how it goes. Like, I love taking pictures. At that point, it was landscape photography. Everyone loved landscape photography.
Of course.
I don't know why I loved it then, because it's so boring. No offense to
really?
anyone that loves it.
That's so
I just
funny.
found it so boring, yeah.
Oh, God.
And then in university, it was kind of just like fashion related. They wanted us to do studio work. So I done quite a lot of that.
Okay.
And then it just became like weddings. Like, I done like fashion shoots for you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So basically, it's not a very glamorous story. We were looking for a photographer for this podcast, Shyama and I, and we came across Shivani.
Yeah.
And we just thought, let's go with it. But before that, I actually had a solo shoot with you because I wanted some Christmas photos, as you do, because I'm not an influencer, but I just wanted photos.
No, of course.
Because I just, I'm a bit of a tourist, even though I'm from London.
Yeah.
I'm such a tourist in London, especially over Christmas. It's really weird, actually, because this is not the first solo photo shoot I've done. Sorry, it was the first one. It's not the only one.
Yeah.
And the other photographer actually said to me as well that she goes, it's really weird. I'm finding women are doing this more.
Yeah.
Like, women are going for solo shoots and they want
really
their own
good,
portraits.
yeah.
And I was like, that's really interesting. I've not really known anyone but like an influencer or a celebrity or something like that do a shoot. So I just wanted to ask you, obviously you've been in photography, 6 years? 7 years, sorry.
Yeah.
I apologise. 7 years is a long time. So do you think like for example, this photographer telling me that females are doing more solo shoots. Have you seen an increase in a certain kind of request or anything like that?
I feel like I have. There's I do a lot of dating shoots as well.
Okay.
So people like want it for like Tinder, their Hinge profile and stuff like that.
Oh,
yeah. So
really?
It's really interesting.
That's not what I thought you meant about dating. I thought you were going to say couples who are dating.
No, not even that.
Okay.
Literally, it's actually.
Oh,
I like to see the confidence. To be fair,
yeah, I think
love
it's
it.
refreshing.
Yeah. It's really nice to see. But I see a lot of women doing shoots these days. Like, even if it's just fashion related, it's just for themselves. Like, they may never post it on social media.
But it's just that's really good. I think that's really nice.
Confident in yourself as well.
Yeah, and also you want to look your best, even if it is for a Tinder. But yeah, of course. So I wanted to ask you actually, because for me, I've always, especially in the Asian industry, like Asian photography, if you like, industry, I've always only known more of male photographers. Yeah. And so we spoke about this and we said that it's a very male dominated industry, including like even teams. Like sometimes there's no female on a team, it's always 100%. Men. Yeah. So how have you navigated that as obviously a very young female who's kind of, even when you first started out, how have you navigated through that?
Honestly, like I've worked with so many different teams, so many different photographers, videographers, and they've all been male, predominantly male.
Okay.
And I've been the only female photographer there.
Right.
And people do downplay it quite a lot. Like they're just like, oh, so I had a couple of days ago, I was shooting a birthday, and there was an uncle there, and he was just like, so what company are you with? And I was just like, not with a company, I'm my own company. And he was like, wow, really? And I was like, why is it so surprising? And he was just like, I don't know. I didn't think a woman your age would be able to do it. And I literally,
what does that mean?
Stopped. Yeah, I stopped. And I was just like, sorry, uncle, what do you mean? And he was just like, I don't know. You look very young. Like, I don't know if you could, I don't know if this is your hobby or if you're doing it full time. And I was like, I'm doing it full time. And then his wife was going on about how she only sees male photographers and videographers.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm in that community where there's mainly only male photographers and videographers.
Yeah.
And I really want to break that norm. And I've only met a handful of female photographers as well.
As in, so when you say female photographers, are they Asian or are they just different ethnicities?
Asian, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's quite, well, I feel like, I don't know how I feel about that because I feel like photography is a creative field, but also I do feel like in our culture, you're lucky that your parents were kind of like okay with it because I feel like we still have that stigma in the British Asian culture that, like now it's changing a bit. Like if someone wants to be a dancer or an actor, you kind of, you see people accepting it a bit more. And I'm not sure why. Maybe it's just evolution.
Like,
but photography is something quite niche. Mm-hmm. So did you, when you first set out, because I know you do all kinds of shoots, right? So when you first set out and you said you started doing weddings and stuff like that, was there something you wanted to kind of excel in, like certain kind of shoots?
So I really wanted to do fashion full time. But obviously weddings and stuff came in place and I was just like, let me just pursue that and like see how that goes. But I'm still doing fashion, still love my fashion. I really wanted to work for Vogue at one point.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I really wanted to do fashion
That dream
shoots.
is still there, right? Please tell me it's still there.
That dream is still there, yeah.
Okay.
Soon come.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. But so like, it's really funny because when I came across your profile before, obviously we did the single solo shoot, I didn't have anything in mind. So all I wanted was Christmas shots, right?
Yeah, of course.
And then when I got those shots back, I was just like, wow. Because it's one thing looking at someone's portfolio.
Yeah.
And it's another thing them kind of getting what you want.
Yeah, of course.
And that it's really difficult sometimes, especially for someone like me who had never done something like that, to kind of explain that I want to shoot like this and I want photos like this. And a lot of photographers, when I've spoken to them, not that I've done that many shoots, I've done like 2, maybe 3, including with Shyama, they sort of ask you, what do you want it for? And also what do you want from it? Do you want fun shots? Do you want serious shots? Like, what do you want? Mm-hmm. And a lot of the time I don't know what I want. Yeah, I'm relying on the photographer.
Yeah, of course.
So when you do have that, when you've kind of almost got full creativity, but obviously there's a purpose to the shoot, if there is one, how do you kind of hone in on what the person wants when they don't even know?
So I kind of ask for like example pictures. So like if it's, let's say, a couple shoot, what kind of couple shoots do you want? Shots do you want? Do you want it to be more fun, more relaxed and less posy? So like more natural shots. So a lot of the time people want that and I'm just like, I'll create a mood board for them. And if they want photos like this, then this is what we can achieve. But most of the time it's like during the shoot, it's just free flow.
Yeah. So I've noticed that because obviously my spec was just in London and Christmas, right?
Yeah.
I didn't have anything else really in mind. I didn't even know what to wear. If you remember, I was even asking you, like, should I wear a certain colour? Should I be wearing this? But it was just one of those things where it was just, I want to do this for myself. Mm-hmm. Cool. But obviously, how do you work in that sense when you work with a couple, for example, or someone who wants a shoot and you do, like you say, a mood board or some sort of visionary thing? Yeah. What happens when they actually know what they want? Like, is that hard for you as a creative person, or do you think, okay, you know what, this is easier because they've got such a good specification that I can work with?
I feel like it's a bit of both, because sometimes for weddings, let's say, some brides literally give me a mood board and they're just like, I want this specific shot at this time, at this time, at this time.
Wow.
Yeah. I had a wedding a couple of days ago, which was like that. She had everything like to the T. Everything was like planned out, which I love. I love how everything's like well organized and stuff like that. But then I'm constantly looking at my phone like, oh, can we take a picture like this or like this? And then I'm like putting my own twang into it. I'm saying like, do this shot. And they end up loving those shots more.
That's really good.
Yeah.
So I think, again, that brings your creativity out as well to kind of match the client, right?
Exactly.
So it's funny you mentioned organizational skills, because I was thinking to myself, apart from the photography, what do you think a photographer needs? And I feel like you need organizational skills, right?
You do.
So what else do you think you've kind of had to develop in order to be a really good kind of photographer?
What have I had to develop?
Because I feel like you would have had to develop your organizational skills because you're doing
100%.
different things every day is different, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, what else do you think, what qualities do you think a photographer should have, basically?
I feel like being up to date with editing is like a key thing, because I'm kind of like, I shoot and then I edit straight away. So I'll be editing on the train to like utilize that time. I feel like time is money.
It is.
It is.
It's true.
So I literally need to utilize that time completely. So I'm editing on the go. I'll edit straight after a shoot so that the clients get it at least on the day or 1 or 2 days after.
So I have to ask you this, because that means you are on the go pretty much all the time.
Yeah.
Like you said, on a train, if you've got like, I don't know, half an hour when you're, I don't know, just in between two kind of shoots. And I feel like you are, because even when on your social media, I'm sort of like, this girl never rests. Does she even sleep? That's how I feel. You obviously do, right?
Yeah.
But that's how I feel. I like, you know, like sometimes really late at night and you posted something and I'm like, oh my God, she's still awake.
Yeah.
Whereas I'm sitting here just watching something on TV or something and you're doing that. But, you know, like it's kind of a hustle, right? Mm-hmm. And this is your main hustle. It's not like it's a side hustle.
Yeah.
So how do you keep yourself motivated? Because I'm pretty sure you must have days where you're like, I can't be bothered. I want to stay in my duvet kind of thing.
Honestly. Sometimes I'm just like, I get bored of looking at the same face sometimes, as bad as that sounds. But you know, when you're like constantly taking photos and then you constantly look through the images, then you kind of just I'm just like bored. I need to see a new face now. But then I kind of just like, I'm kind of like, tomorrow's a new day. Like I'll be able to do, if I get this done, then I'll be able to do another shoot, and then that won't be at the back of my mind. That's always like, it's always constantly running through my mind. So I'm just like, I need to get it done. So then I can maybe like chill for a little while, chill for like 30 minutes or so, like watch something, play with my dog.
Oh,
Yeah. Just like those little
moments.
Times,
I mean, I get that. But when you are actually having a low day, because we've talked a lot about mental health on this podcast, and we've tried to open up the conversation to males a lot more. But obviously, it applies a lot more to females, because females are used to, especially in our culture, we're used to juggling everything.
Yeah.
Even if you don't have like a family, you've got something you're always juggling. It's either your work commitments with your personal commitment. It could be anything that you're juggling.
Yeah.
But when you actually have a low day, and you literally have to push yourself because you've been committed to a shoot or to meet someone or whatever. How do you battle that on that day? Because I know you said, you know, you just move on to the next thing, then move on to the next thing. But sometimes that's not, you know, sometimes you don't feel enough, that you don't feel that attitude is enough.
Yeah, no, of course.
So how do you battle those as a photographer as well? Because you know, like you have to be on form, basically, if it's a wedding or something.
Exactly. I kind of, honestly, it's like a light bulb in my head. It just goes like that, and it's just like, you have to do this today, and I literally just do it. Like, even if I can't wake up, I'm just like, you gotta wake up now. Like, even if it's just like 30 more minutes on your phone, you gotta push through the rest of the day. And I just literally,
that's really good, because I feel like that is a sense of your passion, right?
Yeah.
You've got the passion for it, so therefore that passion motivates you.
Exactly. Yeah.
I think that's really important. Did you think you'd find that kind of passion in photography? When did you know that you'd find that?
I think it was like the second year of uni. I was just like, wow, I really want to do this as like full time. And then I was just like, let's just do it. That's how much I loved it. And it was kind of like building up my own business. Obviously that took so long to build it up, and then to build up my name, and like now people know me.
I feel like that's quite early, because I think when so many people go to uni and they have one qualification, they end up in a completely different
of course.
sector to what they've studied. So that's really good that you've actually stuck to the same thing you studied.
There's loads of people at my university that don't do photography anymore.
I know, well, it could be a side hustle for a lot of people.
Of course.
So the last shoot that I had, I say the last shoot as I've had so many millions of shoots, but the last shoot I had was actually a birthday present from one of my friends, and she brought me a photo shoot, which I think is one of the most beautiful presents I could ever get. And so the lady who did my photography, it was like a really nice summer day, and we were in the park, and then I just randomly asked her, I was like, is this your full-time thing?
Yeah.
And she said, yes, I've given up medicine. I was like, you're a doctor?
Oh, wow.
And she was like, yeah, I was a doctor.
Wow.
She gave up medicine. She was a proper doctor.
Wow.
To take up full-time photography.
She must really love photography.
Yeah. Wow. I was just like, I can understand you give up a career for something you love, but I didn't think that it would be something like that.
I know.
So I just thought, I don't know, I just thought to myself, oh my God, like.
Both are rewarding in so many different ways.
Yeah. So I think I was so shocked that I didn't even ask her anything else, because I was just like, you were a doctor. But I can understand, like, especially after COVID, I don't know if she, like, how many years she'd been a full-time photographer. So I just found that really interesting, because I was just like, wow, that's a really big change.
It is a very, very big change.
Yeah.
Like, people go from finance to photography.
Yeah.
And it's like smaller things. Well, it's not really small, but like, you know what I mean.
No, but it's not like one of those. I don't know. I just feel like medicine is such a big thing.
It is, yeah.
And you have to study so long for it as well. Do you get what I mean? Like for finance or something, it's not, unless you really, really want to do extra studies, you're studying a certain amount of time, and then you're maybe picking it up in the job or whatever, or in the job and being educated, like taking a course or something at the same time. But for medicine, I was just like, wow.
She really gave up medicine.
I literally couldn't.
Hard work.
I literally couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to mention who, but you recently had a really big, high-profile photo shoot that you did. If you don't know what this is, just look on her social media. So I was going to ask you, I know you've probably done a lot of high-profile shoots, but that's the only one I know of.
Yeah.
Like, how difficult is it to keep stuff like that a secret?
It's so difficult. Oh, my God. So I'll mention one that I done recently, but I won't mention the company. So I recently took photos for Prince William's.
Oh,
so
wow.
That was actually really cool. Yeah.
Congratulations. That sounds amazing.
Which was actually really cool. But it's like, I really wanted to post it out.
Yeah.
But obviously everything has to be like kept for them. I'm not allowed to post anything, sadly. But it's like, I really want to post everything on social media. I really want to tell the world.
Oh, I totally get that. And I think it's weird because it's really similar to being in British Asian media.
Yeah.
So I used to be one of those people, right? When I first started in the media, I used to be one of those people who wanted to tell everyone before things happened. Yeah. Because you're so excited about it. That's basically all it is. Yeah. It's just the excitement of, oh my God, I'm going to meet this person. Oh my God, I'm going to this interview. I've learned, it took me time, but I learned that it's better to post something after it happens.
Of course, like Nazza.
That as well, but also if something goes wrong in the middle, you're posting something and then
you're building it up to be something.
Or also someone can say to you, "Oh, we don't want your interview to go up."
Yeah,
like, how do you know, right? You don't know, something could have happened, whatever. So I started not posting stuff.
Yeah.
Until it's actually happened, and then it just reminded me that how much social media influences us these days. So that's what I was saying. That's what I wanted to ask you actually, because building your brand, you've been there in a time where social media has literally taken off.
Yeah.
So maybe building your brand has been slightly easier, I would say, maybe.
Yeah.
Or have you relied on word of mouth as well?
A bit of both, but social media does play a huge part into it because everyone can see my work from there. And because everything's up in one place, everyone just like, wow, like that's a good photo, or this is a good photo. And then they see like some high profiles and stuff that I've kind of worked with. So social media is a great place. It's a great platform for me.
I totally agree with you, because I think I started my British Asian media journey through social media, because I got contacted on social media. But like you say, there's certain things you can't post.
Of course, yeah.
But so I was going to ask you, even though you couldn't post the photos of the Prince William shoot, could you not say something, or was that not allowed either?
No, not allowed.
No.
Yeah.
So this is the first mention?
Yeah, this is the first mention.
Hello, exclusive. But that is actually amazing. So did you have any interaction with him? And did you kind of have like, I feel like I would have had this if it was anyone from like the royal family or something. I probably would have been like, oh my God, I'm actually here. Like,
literally,
I'm in front of this person. Yeah.
Like the pictures were, so I was told before that the pictures would be going up on Daily Mail and stuff. And there was like, they had their own Getty image photographers. So they were like, dressed to impress, guys. And I was like, okay, so I need to be like tip top shape. But then I had like lenses all over me and everything. And I came in one photo. I was like, great.
Oh man.
Yeah.
That's so funny. But how did you feel in that moment though? You know, like, because it would have been so surreal.
Yeah. So I kind of literally, I was just like, wow, I'm actually here. Wow, he's in front of me like this close up. We weren't allowed to interact with him, of course. So it was kind of just like, just smiling like from the corner, like, just know who I am. Shivani photography over here.
That's so
if only I could say that.
Oh, bless you. So where are the photos going then? Like, do you know where they're going?
They just go on to press.
Okay.
Press release, yeah.
So are you looking for more kind of stuff like that? Because it's not, you know, it's like one of the worst things when you're there and you've taken photos or you've done something so important
and you can't,
and you literally can't do anything with that. But you can put it on your CV, right? Even though do we have CVs these days?
Yeah.
But anyway,
literally,
you can put it on your portfolio.
Yeah. I mean, if anyone asks, I will just say, not that anyone would ask. But you asked about high profile, so
I did. I wasn't actually talking about that one, but that's okay. But no, so yeah, it's okay. Yeah, fair enough. It's different. Sorry, different. It's difficult to keep things secret, right? But then on social media, so just to carry on the social media conversation, I totally understand that social media can literally elevate a brand, right? Yeah. But have you been really kind of articulate about what you want to post, how you want to post it, and because like you are a business as opposed to an individual, because obviously you have different accounts, but realistically your photography is your business.
Yeah, of course.
Like did you decide very early on that this is going to be my strategy? Did you work with someone for a strategy? Like, how did you navigate it?
Honestly, nothing. I'm like very particular with my posting on Instagram as well. So I like it to be in a certain way, but I just you kind of look at other profiles and you're just like, oh, this looks cool. Maybe I can try that on mine. But it's always just been like, I'll just post it however I post it, whatever I want to post, really. Like there's never been like any sort of structure. Yeah.
I think that's quite good because on your profile you can get a lot of the gist of what you do, but also you do a lot of things.
Yeah.
Like a lot of stuff. So it's like it shows off your versatility as a photographer.
Yeah.
But also I guess you can choose which photos you think
of course
kind of make the most of I don't know, the daylight or whatever it is, you know, like the light or the angle or whatever it is. That's
loads
quite
of people like prefer other photos compared to mine, the ones that I choose. But obviously everyone has a different eye. So if I post one picture as like the start of the carousel, people are like, why didn't you post this one? I'm just like, because I like this one more. But they're like, but this one will do way better as like the first picture. And I'm just like, the photographer's eye, someone else's eye, everything's so different.
Yeah. And this is what I mean. So that's why I was going to ask. That's why I asked you actually if you had a strategy. But that's quite good that you're kind of like, I guess you're showcasing what you think is a good photo.
Yeah.
Regardless of what someone else might.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. So long as everything's in there. So long as all the best shots that I think are in there.
That's fair enough. Yeah. That's fair enough. So I wanted to ask you, just to change the topic slightly, I wanted to ask you about, you shoot at weddings, right? So in terms of British Asian stereotypes, British Asian culture, like you said, you're a female photographer and sometimes people don't expect you to be there as a professional photographer. Maybe, I don't know whether they might expect you to be an assistant or something. You know, like, because I feel like I would do that, not in a horrible way, but like just sitting with you, I feel like if I went to a wedding, I wouldn't expect a female photographer. I have been to weddings with female photographers, but that's not my expectation. And I feel like that's my conditioning as the British Asian to kind of just think, no, it's men are photographers, right? Yeah. So then when you go to weddings or when you're around family, as in the bride or groom's family, do people sometimes tease you about getting married?
All the time. They're just like, I've had clients be like, shall I set you up with my son or shall I set you up with my nephew? Literally, God. It goes round. It happens all the time.
How do you deal with that? I find that weird even when it's just family. Yeah. And you're doing it with strangers. Like, that happening to you with pretty much strangers.
It's very awkward. Sometimes they literally bring their sons or whatever to me, and they're just like, "Here, have a conversation." I'm just like, "You don't even know me."
Yeah.
It's really awkward. It happens all the time, but it's such an Asian thing. They just want to get their sons married. My parents don't even care.
Yeah.
My parents are just like, just get married whenever you want to.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's just like the community. They're just like, yeah, she's Asian, she's Indian. Let's just try and set them up. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
She has a job, clearly.
See, it's really weird because like I do feel like obviously every family is different, right?
Yeah.
But realistically, I sometimes think that, okay, they set you up with a guy at a stranger's, you know, you're working there.
Yeah.
And then would they be actually able to accept that they've got someone in the family who's a photographer, like a female photographer?
That's what I think as well.
Really?
It literally makes me think that, yeah. Because obviously loads of people are really traditional thinking.
Yeah.
Like my dad is very traditional.
Yeah.
He doesn't understand my career.
Okay.
Which I respect. Well, it's fine.
But he's
He
not
doesn't
stopped
understand.
you, right?
Yeah. He's just
Okay.
like, I don't understand why people want a photographer. And I'm just like, Dad, all right.
I mean,
Where's the
that
disconnect?
why is like your literal career.
Exactly. But he doesn't understand it, but it's fine. But my mom understands it, and my mom's like always supportive of it. So it's not really been an issue in that sense. But I do feel like more traditional parents and stuff will kind of be like, oh, so photography, so how much is she earning? Like, can she make a whole career out of this? Is she making a whole career out of this? How many days does she work? How booked up is she?
How many hours a day?
Exactly.
I do feel like that comes into play even now, you know, like for creative careers especially. But I was just wondering because like you said you don't get pressure from your parents about marriage, right?
Yeah.
But I feel like the pressure that came, it's not pressure. I got to correct myself. It wasn't pressure, but it was just like, you know, like the little nudge. It's not pressure so much, but it's just a nudge.
Like find someone, look for someone.
Yeah. And I think that came mid to late 20s for me, which feels like ages ago. It is ages ago. But like, so you're obviously of around the same age. And obviously you've said your parents think she'll do it when she wants to, right? Maybe when you meet the right person. I don't know if you've met the right person, like whatever your situation is.
Yeah.
I think in the British Asian culture, this is in the UK, definitely.
Yeah.
Because I feel like it's an Asian culture thing, but it's a British Asian culture thing that there is a right age to get married.
Yeah.
And I used to get told that as well when I was in my 20s, that, you know, this is the right age for you to get married.
Yeah.
And obviously I'm like 40 and I'm not married. And we've spoken about this in a previous episode, right? Because sometimes people do get to a certain age, you just haven't met the right person. It's not an alien concept anymore, because I think it's so funny. I was watching, I can't remember what it was. I was watching something. I think it was a reel that came up on Instagram where someone had said the reason there are so many divorces now in Asian families is because women have realized they've got a voice.
Yeah, 100%.
So I do partly agree with that.
Yeah,
but also I do kind of, this is my opinion, but I feel like sometimes male attitudes haven't evolved as well with the women getting the voice, right?
100%.
And now where women are earning and, you know, they're able to make their own decisions, they can live out, they can stand on their own 2 feet. Exactly. That's always been the case. But I feel like, especially in my parents' generation, there was a thing of divorce definitely can't happen, no matter how unhappy you might be. But also, you work it out. You have to work it out. It doesn't matter whoever it's for, right? It's for the kids. It's for our parents. We can't do that to them.
Exactly.
But now, I feel like women are breaking out a bit.
Yeah, I do agree with that.
But obviously you're in your 20s. I'm saying this in my 40s, right? You're in your 20s. But for your generation now, do you think it is one of those things where marriage is not the be all and end all? Like, you know, like someone like me 20 years ago, I was of that mindset. And I still, in a way, I am still there because that's what I want. I'm not saying that everyone else has to have it.
No,
that's my personal thing. But how is it for you now as a 20-year-old in like 2023? Not 20-year-old. She's not 20. In her 20s. How does it feel for you now?
I don't know, because I was having this conversation with my sister and my cousin the other day, and we were just like, you don't need a man to be happy. Like, it's such an Asian thing. You need a man. He needs to provide for you. You can't provide for yourself. He needs to provide for you.
Yeah.
But you don't need a man to be happy. And I just feel like being single is fine. Like,
yeah.
You don't.
I don't see the thing with me, and Shyama says this to me all the time. I think she even said it on the podcast.
Yeah.
that she's happy that I'm not the kind of person who settled for someone.
Yeah.
Just because I wanted to tick the box of marriage,
of
right? But you're right. I do feel like we don't like, we can say this as women now, that we don't feel like we need a man to be happy.
Yeah.
But at the same time, there's nothing wrong with wanting someone,
No, of course.
you know, as a companion
course,
for
yeah.
life or whatever,
Yeah.
to be happy. We're not saying that, you know,
No.
we're absolutely not saying
Yeah.
that that is a wrong feeling to have. But it's really weird because, okay, you and your sister cousin were saying, okay, you don't need a man to be happy.
Yeah.
But
Because they're saying that because of the pressure that
Right.
they're getting.
exactly.
Yeah.
But because the parents' generation don't understand that unassuming,
exactly.
right?
Yeah.
Okay. So if it was one of those things where, say you wanted to remain independent and single, like I personally don't see anything wrong with that. And I've known statistics where more women are doing that because they just want to live their own life, right?
Exactly, yeah.
I feel like that's kind of not happening in the Asian culture so much.
No.
It is for certain people with like really progressively thinking families.
Yeah.
I don't think we can do that yet. Like as a
Yeah.
readily, like women move out, whatever. I know a lot of people do, but I feel like there's still not a stigma, but there's a certain attitude towards it. That, oh, you know, this woman is out of hand or whatever. She wants to live by herself. She doesn't want to look after her parents, and it's nothing to do with any of that.
Yeah. But people on the outside don't understand that.
I think there's a lot of people who put themselves on the outside of that.
Yeah. It's true.
So it's really weird. I find it really weird in this day and age. But also, like I said, sometimes male attitudes don't help.
Yeah.
So have you ever encountered like a male, I don't know, a cousin or brother or even a friend? Have you ever kind of encountered those kind of opinions in your friends, like in your age group? Because I feel like I have come across stuff like that. But obviously in my time, this is my time. But you know what I mean? In my time, when I was in my 20s and 30s,
Yeah.
I feel like I still came across men like that who were just like, I want you to just say yes to everything I say. You have to agree with everything I do, I say. Do you still come across that?
Slightly, but not as much, I don't think.
Okay. What do you think? Do you think that's because of anything in particular, that maybe there is a change in that generation?
I feel like maybe men have changed in a sense.
It'd be nice if they did.
Yeah, in a sense. It would be nice.
It would, honestly. It really would.
In a sense, I feel like it's just mentality at the end of the day. But obviously, some people kind of pick up the mentality of their parents, or sometimes people pick up the mentality of the generation and the lifestyle that they're living. So like the place where they're living. So obviously over here, everything's very modernized. So I feel like only some men have kind of switched on to that.
Yeah.
To where we are.
I think it's difficult when, you know, like, especially after COVID and stuff, cost of living, all the rest of it. A lot of people, I think, have had to move back in with their parents, including, obviously, men.
Yeah.
But also, I've come across men who literally just don't, like, you know, like, want things done for them. But also, I've come across men who are very independent.
Yeah.
And it's like, I sometimes sit here and I'm like, I don't actually know what I think about that. But also, I feel like I'm ready to adapt, right?
Yeah.
But I feel like also that there's this is another, I don't know if it's a British Asian thing, but people always say, oh, the older you get, the less you can adjust.
Yeah. I hear that a lot as well.
I don't know if that's entirely true. I think it depends on the person, right?
It does. It really
depends
does.
on the person. But also, I still feel like, even in my 40s, I say 40s, I'm literally only 1 year in. But I feel like there's still a little bit of pressure.
Yeah.
Marriage-wise, maybe.
I feel like there always will be in our community.
Yeah, but also it's a bit weird because I feel like a lot of people just, they think, oh, you're over 30, so you don't want to get married now, right?
Yeah.
And I'm sort of like, why is marriage only attributed to like your 20s?
Yeah.
Does that make sense? I don't think that makes sense.
I completely agree, because I heard a conversation the other day, and some auntie was saying, once you reach 30, I'm not sure if you're going to find a man. And I'm just like, there's plenty of fish in the sea.
Yeah.
It's never the case of you're not going to find a man. And they're just like, you might have to settle for someone younger. And I'm just like,
What's wrong with that?
Exactly. What is wrong with that? What is wrong with 4 years younger, 5 years younger? There's nothing wrong with it. And they're just like, yeah, but that's quite a big of a gap. It really isn't.
I think it depends on the mentality, right, of the two
Yeah.
people. And if you get along with someone, you get along with someone, and it doesn't matter
Exactly.
how old they
Yeah.
are. I just find it really fascinating that, you know, like, because you're like in your 20s. When I was in my 20s, I felt like I didn't even know who I was.
Yeah.
And I feel like as I've got older, I've realized that social media, for example, has really made the world smaller but bigger. If you see what I mean?
Yeah.
So then I feel like people in my 20s, people in their 20s, like, for example, your generation, you're very, how do I say it? You're very confident in what you want, like where you want to go, where your life is.
Career focused, right?
Right, it's career focused,
Yeah.
but it's also very like, this is my opinion and that's
Yeah.
it, right?
Yeah.
I don't think I was like that in my 20s, especially because I don't know whether it was the group I was, you know, like my group of friends or whatever. I just felt like I wasn't that comfortable in myself. But I feel like in your generation you are, right?
Yeah. I feel like.
But what brings that about? Do you think that might have been social media?
I feel like I'm not even sure. I just feel like social media does play a role in it.
Yeah.
But I feel like on social media you just see everyone, like people younger than me are getting married. I'm like, what's going on? What am I doing wrong? I'm just like, I'm pretty happy where I am.
Yeah.
But like, you know, I just want to like focus on my career at the moment. And like people are just like, yeah, let's just get married. Let's buy a house together and stuff. And I'm just like, I'm still living at home.
Yeah. But there's nothing wrong with that, right? So we had a guest previously in the season who, it was a male who said that he literally spent his 20s. He spent his 20s building his career.
Yeah.
And he has now spent his 30s. Well, he's not past his 30s. He's in his 30s. He's spending it like in the more important space, which is his fitness, his mental health, his family. You know, there's a different set of priorities now for him. Yeah. And he actually said, as a disclaimer right at the beginning, women have it harder than men, right? So I'm not saying that, you know, like I've had it really hard. I've had to focus on my career. Now I couldn't fit in the fitness, and now but I sort of think COVID, like the statistics that came out after the pandemic were that women have it harder, right? So women were doing most of the housework, they were working, they were looking after the kids, they were cooking, they were doing whatever it is. I found that really interesting because I felt like that was an Asian thing.
Yeah.
Because we have that expectation of our mums, for example. We might have an expectation. Someone might have it of their daughters. And I struggle where, like I said, I feel like it's a generational thing.
Yeah.
I can't break out of that because I feel like I'm still at home. But someone in their 20s, like you say, someone who's younger than me has already done it.
I know.
And is juggling God knows what.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely God knows
kids.
what. Yeah.
Work, housework.
So do you find it a bit daunting to think that people, obviously, like you said, people of your age or younger, but obviously they're in a different life space, right? But do you find it daunting, or do you sometimes feel like, no, I want to get there at some point? Obviously, you probably do.
Yeah.
But yeah, how do you feel about it?
I felt like, because some of my friends started having babies when they were 22.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, obviously as a kid, I was like, I want to get married by 26. I want to have a baby at that time as well. Like, obviously that's just younger us. We're just like, we want this now. We want this now. But coming into like my almost late 30s, late 20s, I'm just like, I want to focus on myself. I want to focus on my career before I can do that for my future. So I'm not in like any stage of like, I need to get married at this stage anymore. I'm just like, if it happens in my 30s, it happens in my 30s. Like, no rush for it. But obviously seeing everything, seeing my friends and stuff, having babies, getting married and stuff, it's just like, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that comes with a lot of us.
Yeah.
I think that is a social media thing, I think, for me, because I feel like when I've taken a detox from social media, I don't feel that much pressure.
Yeah, of course.
But it's like, sometimes you just see like wedding videos. I'm not saying I'm looking at the ones that you've done, but I'm just saying sometimes you look at wedding videos, because I do follow quite a few like videographers, photographers, and you just sort of, I think I've scrolled past them now because I'm just like,
Really?
This is fantastic that it's happening to that person, but I just don't want to see it.
Yeah. Sometimes you're kind of just like, oh, they're so cute. Like you just look at all these videos and you're just like, oh, they're so cute. And then you just like it. And then you're just like, why am I liking it?
You like the video?
Yeah, the videos are amazing. I can't lie.
They have to be, right?
Yeah.
Because I feel like the wedding industry is a bit like that now. That everything has to be perfect.
Exactly. But I feel like loads of people are doing proposals now just for the gram as well.
So I was just about to ask you about proposals, actually, because I know you are a main photographer for a proposals company. So that's what I was going to say, actually, because I feel like if I was in your shoes in my 20s and doing this, I would be like, oh my days, like there's so much love. Like there's so many love stories. But you're right. Some of it is for the gram.
It is. I've been told a story by one of the companies I work for.
Right.
And they basically said a guy proposed in Mayfair in a restaurant. And the girl said, no, not now. She said, do it up. I want it at the Shard. I want it.
Oh my God.
I want it to be properly done. And then I'll say yes. So the next day he booked them and she said yes. So she literally wanted it. She wanted a picture, basically. She wanted it for the gram. And loads of people actually do proposals because they want the photos taken, but they've already proposed elsewhere. They just want it for photos.
Oh my God. I so didn't know this was a thing.
It is. It's 100% a thing. People dress up for it.
I get the dressing up.
Yeah.
I do get the dressing up.
They have a specific dress and a specific hair and makeup and everything for it.
Wow, this is a big revelation for me, because I felt like, obviously, I'm quite naive like that, but I just felt like, like, it's a surprise. So you're dressed up because you think you're going somewhere else, or like whatever it is. You might even be told, okay, we're going on a photo shoot, so dress nicely. Yeah. And then you get there and there's like a massive marry me, what do you call it, lights or whatever, and like petals and whatever. Oh my God.
Yeah, loads of people just do it for the gram. They just want to have the photos.
Wow.
I know.
Give me ideas now. Can you imagine? Just getting a stand-in like model.
Yeah.
Who can be my fiance?
Yeah, exactly.
Can you imagine? That's hilarious. That is so hilarious. But obviously a lot of effort goes into that as well, and a lot of money, I guess. And they're okay with that?
Yeah. People are okay with that. They just, honestly, it's just for photos. People just want it for photos, for videos, anything to showcase that they've been proposed to and how extravagantly. Yeah.
Wow.
Always the case.
I did not think that would be the case, honestly. So basically, I also wanted to ask you, you have shot in a lot of different locations. And so for example, so let's just, I don't know a lot about Shivani. There's one thing I know about Shivani, and that is you shoot everywhere. Yeah. You do all kinds of shoots. Yeah. There's no like, no, I can't do that. Yeah. No, I can't be there. No, we can't shoot there. You literally are open to everything. And because you're full-time, like we've discussed previously, you've managed to get a lot of experience in different scenarios, right? So you've worked with different clients, you've been to different locations, etc. What do you think is your favorite in that sense? Like, what do you most enjoy? Like, do you most enjoy outdoor shoots? Do you enjoy like, I don't know, studios or parties, or like what's the one thing that you think, oh my God, I really love this?
I love proposals.
You really do?
Yeah, I do.
Even though they might be for the gram.
Yeah, I do love them because I love like capturing the raw moment. Okay. Sometimes they're like, women are crying and it's just like so nice to see raw moments. And because I do a lot of them, it's just really nice to see the moments, really. Yeah. Aww. I do love it. Yeah.
Are you like a closet romantic? You might not even be in the closet.
I mean, yeah, I guess so. Yeah. I guess so.
Going to say,
a little bit of a romantic.
So has there ever been a proposal that has been very Bollywood?
Bollywood. I wouldn't say Bollywood, but they are like very like extravagant. Like the Akshay and Harpreet from The Apprentice. Yeah. Theirs was very like sparklers and everything. Okay. He wanted it very like red. Yeah. Like very like romantic-y. And it's really nice to see.
It was like a really nice clear day because you could see the landmarks in their photos as well, which really, was nice. Really was that difficult to capture in terms of, like you knew you had the scene behind you as well of like the skyline?
Yeah. Because we were literally trying to juggle with the wind. The wind, because it was on such a high story, the wind was going everywhere. And we wanted to get the Tower Bridge in the background. We had to completely go to the opposite side. Oh my God. And get no view on this side. So just take pictures of the couple on this side and that side to see the Shard. It's so difficult.
Wow. Yeah. So I was going to ask you if you had any like shoots that have been particularly challenging where you've been like, okay, this can't be done, or literally like that, you've just had to completely change direction on it.
I think in terms of that, sometimes it's lighting. Okay. Lighting can be a struggle. Like for instance, like if I'm shooting like way into pitch dark, it's hard to like light up the subject. And sometimes I feel like it's very like washed out.
Okay.
I don't want them to bleed in the light. So
Right.
sometimes that can be really challenging. Also, when I don't know where I'm shooting in that sense. So sometimes it could be at Tower Bridge. The client can show up really late and it could be pitch dark at that point. Then I don't really know what to do. But then I kind of like figure stuff out. I'm just like, I've done this before. Like, don't doubt yourself. You can do this. So I figure it out in the end and it all works out really.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I was just thinking, because I feel like weather conditions obviously would come into play there.
Yeah.
So what, like, has it actually been where you've actually had to change direction because of the weather, or because a client has been like, oh my God, I hate this, or whatever it is?
No.
That's really positive.
Yeah. I always try to think positive. I always try to just say, you can do this. No matter how hard the situation is, you can do this. Like, obviously, always positive affirmations, just like throughout the day. Even if I'm doubting myself, I'm just like, sometimes I'll be like, so I was coming up to this podcast today and I was just like, I'm really nervous. No, you can do this. You can do this. You'll be fine once you get on the roll.
This is your first podcast, right?
It's my third podcast.
Oh, it's your third podcast.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was wondering, okay, so you shouldn't have been that nervous.
I was like, will I be able to sleep tonight?
That's so funny, because we had someone else who actually is really like, he's really what do you call it, experienced in doing interviews.
Yeah.
And then you realise that we're going to be interviewing him, and he was like, oh my God,
really?
I'm
You
so
think
nervous.
you'll like roll off on
the
conversation? Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I'm not really sure what happened there, but he was okay, because basically we wanted him to talk about a certain subject. Yeah. So it was something different for him. Mm-hmm. So I think that was part of what the nerves were. But it's quite funny, because I'm really weird when I'm nervous. I think when I'm nervous, I'm usually nervous before a celebrity interview.
Yeah.
Or I've been nervous before recording guest podcasts sometimes, especially if you don't know the person. If I know the person, it's okay.
Yeah.
But even when you know the person, sometimes it's like, should I ask that? Should I not ask that? But so far fingers crossed, we've not had anyone who's, like been like, oh my God, it was awful kind of thing. Hopefully we won't have that. But it's like one of those things where, so when I feel nervous, I kind of go by the adrenaline of feeling nervous, and it makes me feel better. I know it sounds really stupid, but it's like I do this thing where, for example, if I'm meeting a really big celebrity and I'm going to be in front of them like this, just talking to them, I'm super nervous because I need to have my professional hat on, and I'm always a fan of that person because I'm a Bollywood person, always been a fan. Ultimately, you have to just realize it's a person, right?
Exactly.
At the end of the day, that's what you have to realize. So have you ever been nervous before any photo shoot and you've had to kind of talk yourself into like, oh my God, you're probably going to mention Prince William again, aren't you?
I also done, I'm not sure of the guy's name, but you know Gadar?
Gadar.
Okay, I just said it.
No, Sunny Deol. Oh yeah.
So I met Sunny Deol for a photo shoot, and it was a press release for that as well. I was really nervous, and he was so nice.
He's lovely.
He's the most nicest person I think I've ever met. Honestly, he was like, "I wish you the best for your future. Do you do this full time?" Like he was like proper having a conversation.
Having an interest. That's nice. That is really nice. So I've interviewed him on the phone for Kyle, I think it was, or Kyle too. Kyle once again. And so sorry to say, I was a bit indifferent about the deals. I've just never been a really big fan. Not that I've got anything against them. I still watch their films and stuff. I just wouldn't count myself as an actual fan, even though I appreciate, their films and music or whatever it is. Yeah, I interviewed him on the phone, Sunny Deol, and he completely won me round because he was just so nice.
Literally.
And I didn't expect that.
So nice.
You didn't expect it though, right?
Yeah. Like we had a little break before another speaker came in, and he was just like, so how are you guys? It was me and another videographer. He was like, so how are you guys? Do you guys want anything to drink?
So
and I was
nice.
like, bless you.
Yeah.
Honestly, so sweet.
I think sometimes that makes all the difference because it just puts you at ease.
Yeah. And it makes you feel like, more excited to be there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you've had an interaction.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool. Yeah. Have you had any other celebrities like that?
Lucky Ali.
Oh.
Yeah, he's
nice.
very, very nice as well. So I done his concert a couple months ago.
Yeah.
He's very, very nice as well. So
nice.
he interacts as well. Really nice person.
I think that's quite nice.
Yeah.
So did you do like profile shots and stuff?
Yes.
Okay.
So as in for him?
Yeah, for any celebrity.
Yeah. I've done quite a few profile shots. I've worked with a few Olympians for WhatsApp. So that's been really nice. Loads of people are really just like really friendly, and you don't expect it. Like you expect people to be stuck up, as bad as it sounds. Like,
No, you do.
You do.
I think that's good.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a good thing to set
Yeah.
yourself up and think that they're going to be
Exactly.
horrible. Because then when they're nice, it's always a bonus.
I know, exactly. It's so,
That's how
so
I
nice.
always see it.
Like it makes you feel comfortable as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also, I feel like you're preparing yourself for the worst. And then when you
Yeah,
get
exactly.
the best, it's
Exactly.
always a good thing,
Exactly.
right? And I think I feel like it's a hopes thing. Like you don't like keep your hopes up and then
Yeah.
it kind of goes really well. That's really cool.
Yeah.
So I was going to ask you, like, obviously you said you were nervous before Sunny
Yeah.
Deal,
Yeah.
but it's really funny because I think that if I was a photographer, not that I'm ever going to be a photographer.
You never know.
No, I'm not, honestly. I feel like I'd be nervous before everything.
Yeah, I used to be like that, honestly.
Oh, God.
Literally, I used to be like that. When I first started, my mum would take me to work. She still does. She still
Oh,
waits in the
that's
car.
so
Yeah,
sweet.
until I'm done sometimes. If it's like really far away, she'll like drop me. Then she'll be like, I'll wait. Even if it's like 3 hours, she'll be like, I'll wait. Bless her soul. But when
That's
I
nice.
first started, she used to take me to work if it was down the road or something. And I'd be like, Mum, I don't want to go in. And she'd be like, why? Like, you'll be fine. 3 hours will go like that. I was like, Mum, I don't want to go in. I'm so nervous. I don't know if I can do the shoot. She was like, stop
Aw.
doubting yourself. Like, you can do the shoot. You've been doing it. You're doing a degree in it.
That's
It's
nice.
just, yeah, I guess I just needed that. Like, someone to just, like, push me.
Yeah, at the
Yeah.
right time as well.
Exactly.
When you didn't want to go in.
Yeah.
You literally need
Yeah.
someone at that moment
Exactly.
sometimes, right?
Exactly. Like, I didn't want to go to any of my shoots. I was like, do I have to? Like, I really don't want to do it. I really don't want to do this.
Oh.
Yeah. But then I built it up, of course. Yeah. And I'm just like, yeah, I can battle with anything. Sometimes I don't even ask the client, like, what exactly is happening. Like, what's the rundown of the day? I'll just go there and I'll just be like, just let me know. Just ask the DJ, if anything. For if it's like a birthday party, I'll just be like, yeah, just let me know what the rundown is. And I just go with the flow.
But I think,
really.
like I said, some people don't know what they want. They just want a
Yeah.
photographer.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
And they want, literally, sometimes it's just about capturing the moments.
Exactly. Yeah.
And
They just kind of leave it with you.
that's basically what a
Yeah.
photographer does,
Yeah.
right? But it depends how they capture the moment as well. Because, yes, there have been photographers that I've heard of and I've also worked with where they haven't been fully engaged.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes, like, I get really kind of, how do I put it? I get really annoyed when I'm working with someone, whether it's professionally or even for a personal thing,
Yeah.
and that person isn't passionate, because you can see it straight away. And you can feel it straight away as well. So I kind of get a bit kind of like, this person's not for me.
Yeah.
But that's really disappointing.
It is. It ruins whoever's event it is or whatever
Yeah.
it is moment, and their photos as well. So I've had people that have worked for me doing shoots, and the photos haven't turned out great, and I'm just like, how do I deliver these to my clients? Like, at the end of the day, it's my name, and I can see in the photos that you don't have a passion for it. So it's really difficult in that sense if I'm delivering photos to my clients.
So obviously in those situations, hopefully you haven't had too many of them, I'm guessing you have to deliver them either way, right? So you edit as best you can.
Exactly.
And then,
yeah.
wow.
And then I just hope for the best, hope for like positive comments back. I'm just like, I deliver them. I'm just like waiting by my phone.
What is this person going to say to me?
Otherwise, I'll just be like, I'll say it honestly. I'll just be like, I don't feel like these are the best shots. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm willing to do something along the way. Maybe in the future, give you a discount on a shoot, because obviously I'm giving you this person to do your shoot. I don't want to ruin your day type of thing.
Exactly.
But it has happened quite a few times.
Have you been burnt like that in terms of you'd have to get rid of them? Or like, have you had any challenges like that where it's been difficult to kind of just be like, look, you're clearly just not on the same level or whatever it is?
There has been a couple of times. I've had one time there was a photographer who done a first birthday, and the photos came out terrible. And the client didn't even mention anything to me until a year later. And she was just like, I don't want any money back. I just want to tell you that this is what the photographer has done, and he's not rectified his situation. And I was just like, you're my client. You should be coming to me.
Yeah.
Both of you should be coming to me. So none of them told me.
But so in that situation, right, what would you have expected? Obviously, they should have come to you earlier. But what would you have done? Like, would you have given them another photo shoot with like a first birthday?
I would have, yeah.
Okay.
I would have maybe done a family shoot.
So what exactly was wrong with the photos? The lighting.
The lighting was terrible. You know when you put a flash completely on someone and it just basically washes your face out type of thing. And it's like a first birthday. You want to obviously capture those memories. It's your child's first birthday at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Like, these are the memories that you're going to cherish forever. And it's like, they were basically undeliverable. The angles were off. It's not even like I could straighten them up because other things would get cropped out. It's really difficult, honestly.
So had you worked with that person before? Like, had you seen their work?
I'd worked with them a couple of times.
Okay.
And the work had been all right.
Okay.
And then all of a sudden, just this shoot has just been completely off. Yeah. It's like, what do you do? It's my reputation.
Yeah, so this is what I was asking before, isn't it? Because you need to then obviously have the skills to like explain to that person, you know, like do the kind of HR chat sort of thing.
Exactly.
Did you expect to have to do stuff like that when you were doing photography?
I didn't, because I thought everything would be done by myself.
Right.
But now that
sometimes
I have a team,
exactly. Sometimes you can't because when your brand gets bigger, you're going to need extra people.
Exactly. So now I have a team that works with me, so I can trust them. There's one guy which I give most of my shoots to if I'm unable to make it, and I can literally trust him with everything. So he's really good in that sense, and it's a blessing to have found him as well. Yeah. And he's Gujarati as well, so it's good. And he kind of blends in with, if I say that, oh, I don't like this, he'll just be like, okay, how can I rectify it? Like, he wants to learn.
Yeah, I think that's what I was going to say. It's really important when it's someone like that rather than, you know, like, it's not open to criticism because you probably don't criticize in that sense. Yeah. But it's just open to improvement.
Yeah, exactly.
And sometimes, you know, like, there's a way you take it. You either take it as criticism or you take it as a way of improving. So that's interesting. Yeah. That is really interesting. So just going back to the Uncle G situation we had at the beginning, where obviously he had underestimated you, he had slotted you in whatever he wanted to slot you in as. So I was going to ask you, actually, when it comes to cultural boundaries, because like we said, you're a female photographer in a male dominated industry, you're Asian, you do a lot of Asian events. Yeah. Where do you put your boundary? Like, even if it can be culturally as well, but it can be even your personal boundaries. Like, how do you do that? Because he had overstepped the boundary. Yeah. But obviously you couldn't do anything about that. So you obviously came back and said to him, why did you ask me this?
Yes, of course.
But where does your own boundary come in when you're doing events like that? Because I feel like, I know this sounds really weird, like I just have this image in my head of you, like, I don't know, leaning down and trying to take a certain angle of a photo and someone being like, can you go and get this, please?
Always happens.
Oh my God, are you joking?
Happens. Yeah. Always happens. I had a wedding a couple of days ago, and the dad was just like, can you get the chandeliers? Take the chandeliers up here, like, during the wedding. And I was like, I got it. And then he comes to the back and he's just like, no, take it from there and take off the chandeliers on this side and get the couple in there. And I was just like, I literally ignored it. I was fuming inside.
I don't know.
I was like, please stop. But you'll keep going on, but please stop, uncle, please. And he just kept saying, like, go this side. And then after the ceremony finished, he was just like, I just want you to get all the chandeliers because, you know, it looks really beautiful. I just want you to get the couple in there. Make sure you got that right. And I was just like, I didn't get that. But I'm not going to do what you say because obviously it's my job. And it was funny. The registrars were just like, they were about to tell the couple, oh, you need to move over here and do this and do that. And I was just like, I was literally about to explain, so you're going to get the certificate now, and then I'll follow you out. And then the registrars were just like, oh, she knows what she's doing. Like, yeah, literally. And I was just like, what do you mean? I've been doing this for so long. You guys just think I'm young just because I look young. And it happens a lot.
You look like a baby.
I know. I get it a lot. I get it a lot. And it's just because I look young, people like to downplay, like, what I can do, basically.
Do you think that's more in an Asian thing? Because I'm trying to think, if you've done Western, when I say Western, when it says civil weddings of not pretty people who are not Asian. Yeah. Have you found that happen then as well?
I feel like it works both ways.
Really?
Yeah.
So people just want certain shots and they just tell you what to do?
Yeah. It happens all the time. I know. People are like, can you get the group photo like this? And then there'll be an uncle in the back saying, oh, why didn't she put her hand over this person or this person? Why didn't she put her hand on the sides? Why don't you get this person to stand here?
Oh my God.
I'm just like, I'm doing my job. I'm literally saying, if it's a massive group photo, I'm doing my best to get everyone into the shot and get everything done in time. And they're just like, no, but you have time. You can put this person here and this person here. I'm like, you don't know the list I have to go through.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking if I've ever noticed that happen to a male photographer. I feel like I might
Yeah.
have done something to a male photographer once. So it was one of my friends.
She's owning up.
And one of my friends was getting married. And they really weird.
Yeah.
This is obviously like going back like about 10, 15 years. And they hadn't got a photographer for her civil. And I was like, what?
Yeah.
And she was like, no, my dad said no, or whatever it was.
Fair.
So I was like, can I gift you a photographer?
Yeah.
Because like you have to have a photographer when you have your civil
yeah,
wedding.
of course.
And she was just like, no. I was like, look, I'm sending someone.
Yeah.
And so I sent one of my friends, and obviously I was there, but I was in another part. And then there was one, it was only for one shot, right? They had this really classic car.
Yeah.
And he was taking photos of them in it with like family or whatever. And then I said to him, can I just give you one shot that I really want of them? And he was like, yeah, go on then. I was like, I just want one in the side mirror of you can get it.
Yeah,
So he hadn't taken any mirror shots, right? So in my head, I was just like, this could be a really good shot.
Yeah,
But obviously, I don't know the angles, right? So I said to him, do you think you could take it where you get both of them? And he did it. And then I kind of just stepped back because I was like, why did I do that? Do you get what I mean? Because I was just like, but I didn't have to do that.
Yeah.
He's a professional photographer.
It's nice to have an input sometimes, I feel. But it's when someone's like bossing you around.
Yeah.
You don't want that. Especially
But I don't know. I just felt like I overstepped. And then I just stopped because after that, I was just like, no, I can't.
Yeah,
That's
you're
not
like, what am I
fair. It's not fair on either of them. Do you get what I mean? It's not fair on the couple, the family, or even the photographer.
Yeah.
So,
But I get you have a vision for what you may want.
yeah.
But then they obviously are hired for a reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I get it. Sometimes it's nice to hear. Sometimes it's nice when people are just like, "Oh, by the way, do you think maybe we could take a photo like this or like that?" And then I'm just like, "Yeah, I respect that. I respect you telling
Asking.
me." Yeah,
Because then you
asking,
could obviously say, no, I don't think this would look good, but maybe this, this
exactly.
angle, or maybe you can stand on this side, or whatever it is. Then you can get your photography head in and give the kind of feedback in a way
rather
before
than
you take the
telling
shot.
someone what to do.
Yeah. I don't know why I felt like that might be an Asian thing. But you're saying it's
both, yeah.
Okay.
It's both. It does happen on both sides, but it's a very, very Asian thing. I had one time an uncle say to his daughter booked me for their pre-wedding ceremonies, and I came in through the door and he was like greeting me. He was Punjabi, and he goes to his daughter in Punjabi, are you sure she's a professional? She looks very young.
right in front of you.
Yeah. And I was like, Uncle, I can understand what you're saying.
Oh my God.
Understand exactly what you're saying. And he was like, I'm so sorry. And she was like, Dad, shush, shush, shush. Like, I've hired her for a reason. It's like, at that point, this was like 3 years ago. And at that point, I was just like, do I change how I look? But then I was just like,
How can you change how you look?
yeah, exactly. Do I like start wearing like blazers or something? Start being not me?
I don't even know what to say. That is insane.
It was so weird to hear. Like, I would presume people say on the outside, but hearing that literally being said to my face was different.
Yeah. It's almost like you weren't there.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, like he said it like you weren't there.
Yeah.
Because that, obviously, I would imagine if there were comments like that, they would make them privately,
Yeah,
right? And when you're
exactly.
not right in front of
Exactly.
That's really weird.
Such
Okay.
an awkward moment.
That was really weird. But yeah. Okay, cool. I'm going to head towards the end of the episode, which means we have a this or that section. So they're not, some of them will be related to your career.
Okay.
And some of them will not be related to your career. So on Shyama's behalf, I'm also asking 3. So we normally ask 6. We ask 3 each. So I consulted with Shyama and she chose some as well. Amazing. So I'm going to alternate between hers and mine.
Okay.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
They're meant to be semi-rapid, but you feel free to explain if you want to, right? Because there was one person where we did this, kept explaining really, really long. And then he was like, I'm so sorry, this is meant to be rapid. And I'm like, nah, you're all good. It's all good. It's fine. If you want to explain, it's all good. Okay. Ready?
Go for it.
Cool. Comedy or romance?
Comedy.
Really?
Yeah.
Even though you said you love proposals.
Yeah, but I'm not really a soppy person. I do love proposals, I can't lie. But I'm not really a soppy person.
Okay.
So I do love a good comedy.
Cool. Traditional wear or formal wear?
Formal wear.
Interesting.
Yeah. I'm not really into the traditional clothing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you do a lot of shoots with people with traditional clothing, apart from weddings?
Yeah.
Okay.
So once I see it, I'm just like, wow, this looks beautiful. But I'm just like, I can't see it on me.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fair enough.
Yeah.
That's fair enough. That's fair enough. But I don't think I've ever seen you in formal wear either. I'm just trying to think now.
Yeah, but like
Smart casual all the way.
all the time.
Okay. Studio or outdoor shoot?
Outdoor shoot. So much more to work with.
Fair
Yeah, I
enough.
do love an outdoor shoot. In the sun.
I've got another sub question.
Go on.
When you say outdoor shoot, or when you think of it in your head,
Yeah.
where do you see it? Like the first one that comes into mind. Where do you? If I said to you, let's go and shoot outdoors.
I literally see Canary Wharf. I love Canary Wharf.
Really?
Yeah. That's what I see. I see like the
interesting.
buildings. And like it's like very modernized as well. So I love that for fashion shoots.
Okay,
Yeah. So that's literally the first location, the first thing that comes into mind.
it's interesting. Because I did not think of that myself. when Shyama, this is one of Shyama's, right? So
Yeah.
when she chose that, in my head, I thought of studio. Obviously, studio
Yeah.
is a studio.
Yeah.
And when she said outdoor, in my head, I just thought of park because I just
Okay,
thought of
fine.
greenery.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was like, okay.
Fun fact, I don't actually like photographing in greenery.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know, something just doesn't
Even on a
fit
sunny,
right with
nice
me.
sunny day.
I don't like park shoots.
Interesting.
Yeah, I like to like venture out. If my client wants park shoots, obviously I'm open to that, obviously.
Yeah.
But like I would be like, can we do like more like natural, more like buildings and stuff like that? And they tend to like that as well. So I like to do a bit of both. So I like to give voice my opinion in that sense that
Yeah, that's pretty
not
cool.
too much into like the greenery.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I think you did one greenery shoot. Well, not an actual shoot, but a few
Yeah.
photos
Yeah.
for Shyama and I.
Yeah. No, but I did like those photos because there were buildings in the background.
Yeah,
as
that is
well.
true. There were very big buildings in the background. This is very true. Okay. Full creativity, like blank canvas or set rules.
Full creativity.
I thought you might say that.
Yeah. I like planning the shoots myself.
Yeah.
It just, all the creativity just comes out then. Yeah. I just love it.
Cool. I thought you were going to say that. Do you prefer to plan ahead or cherish the moment?
Cherish the moment. If it's a couple's shoot, then I do like to be like, oh, look at each other in a certain way. And then you capture that moment in that sense. And it's just really nice. It's like
That's
a raw
cool.
moment. Yeah.
Yeah, because you can't plan that.
Exactly. Yeah. I do love the whole showing up and seeing how it goes type of thing. Yeah. But the planning is needed sometimes.
Yeah,
It
it's a
depends on
bit
the
of
shoot,
both,
yeah.
isn't it? But yeah, I get the cherish the moment as a photographer.
Yeah.
Okay, the last one is being a mentor or being mentored.
Being a mentor, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
You prefer people learning from you
Yeah.
or teaching them?
Yeah, I prefer teaching 100%.
Okay.
Only because I don't think there's actually a reason.
That's all right.
Yeah.
Doesn't need to be.
Yeah.
That's quite cool because then that means that you might enjoy that part of photography, I
Yeah,
guess. You
yeah.
just enjoy that part of photography where you can show your skills, I guess.
And I guess it's
To
'cause
someone
I'm
else.
passionate.
Yeah.
So it's just like I like to express like what I love and like I'll happily teach you how to edit or teach you how to take a photo. So I'd prefer that, I think. Yeah.
That's cool.
I didn't expect that question. I quite like it.
Thank you. That was one of mine. Shivani, it has been lovely talking to you.
Thank you for having
Thank you so much for spending the time with me and some of these questions were Shyama's as well, so I've got to say. Some of them were Shyama's.
Much missed.
So tell people where they can find you on socials.
You can find me on @Shivani Photography on Instagram and @Shivani Events,
Both on Instagram?
both on Instagram.
Cool. Are you anywhere else?
I'm on Facebook, but don't really use that much.
Okay. Like TikTok or anything like that?
No.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. So Shivani Photography and Shivani Events.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you very
Thank you so
much.
much for having me.
And so I just want to say a really big thank you to DJ Shy Guy who did our jingle for the Voice It Out podcast, which we are still using in season 2. And how amazing is this jingle? I love it. So I want to say a really big thank you to him. And we want to say we missed Shyama in this episode.
We do.
We did. We really did. But hopefully she will be back soon. And I also want to say you can follow us on now. We are on YouTube, so please subscribe. And also you can catch us on Instagram, Voice It Out Podcast.
Yes.
We're on Facebook, Voice It Out Podcast with Shyama and Amrita. We are on TikTok as well, Voice It Out Podcast. So just follow us. And if you want to get in touch with us via our Instagram, you can email us and just give us some feedback. We're waiting for it. And also, I just want to say, we don't like keeping it in. We like voicing it out. Bye.
See you.